So, as you can see in that clip that you guys just watched, you can obviously tell that that man ain't shit, just like Nay said. He went to the bar to get her a drink. Well, actually, he seen her. She was on break, like she said. He went and got her a drink, even though she didn't want a drink, and then try to act like he didn't know the woman, call her crazy, and even had the nerve to freaking insult her. Like, what type of stuff is that?
Familiar.
It definitely sounds familiar.
So familiar.
Because these dudes be so mad that they get caught up that they don't know what to do. It's like their instinct is to just, their first instinct is to just lie. And that's clearly what the man was doing in the video. Lying, saying he didn't know her from a can of paint when he clearly just got her number 30, maybe 40 seconds ago.
And don't forget, he had the bartender send her a drink.
Exactly. So don't act like you wasn't trying.
Oh, and sung Can We Talk?
And I forgot about that. He definitely was singing her a lullaby, y'all. He was definitely trying to get her number. But as I feel like dudes are just always trying to get what they want. Like, they want their cake and they always want to eat it too.
And they're disrespectful.
And they're very disrespectful. Misha, how do you feel about that?
I want to talk to your mama. She should have whooped your ass.
That is the perfect song for this situation right now, y'all.
No, like, in all seriousness, like, first and foremost, this is not one of them shows where we're about to be sitting here bashing men. But
exactly.
We will call a thing a thing.
Exactly.
And in this case, this thing was just, it's pathetic. Like, I really can't stress how, I really want men who have situations or married or in a relationship, whatever, stop approaching other women, because we are in the age of social media. This is not the same age that your grandpappy and your dad grew up in, where your dad can have a kid in every state, or your grandpa had a wife over here and a wife over there. We're going to find out.
Exactly.
So it's just like, and you know, she didn't find out from social media. She found out just by walking downstairs, but that's the audacity for me.
Right. And she was just trying to thank him, like, because he sent her a drink. But she really didn't even want the drink. And you're with another woman.
And that's the audacity for me.
And that's the audacity for me, too.
But what also pisses me off about that whole situation is then whenever you get caught, it's like, y'all go into defense mode. Oh, now she's bold-legged.
Right. What does that have to do with anything, sir?
I remember I wobbled.
Right. She wobbled, remember, y'all? Which she really didn't wobble. She was looking good. That man was just mad.
But that's what the thing is. Like, these stories are too relatable, and they're also just too, like, way too relatable, to be honest with you. Like, there's really no other word to use for it. Like, I feel like we all have been in a situation where
I was just
somebody who's in a relationship or married or has some kind of situation going on approaches you, and you're like, you have no clue, because obviously they're not going to lead with that. Like, hi, my name is Jeremy.
Right.
I'm married, but you're really, really cute.
I'm married. Or they don't wear their ring.
They don't wear their ring.
Because they want to be sneaky.
And then somehow it comes up that they're married, whether it be TikTok, shout out to the hashtag help me find him, whether it be you get home, you just start talking more, and they tell you, because eventually you can't hide that shit. Like, you can't hide that shit forever. So, like, it's just interesting to me, the audacity that some men have. And I really, like, I'm a strong believer in, if you're not ready to sit your ass down, then don't sit your ass down.
Exactly.
And have some respect, because this is very disrespectful. It's more disrespectful to me that he did that with his girlfriend downstairs than if she was home. Exactly. But I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I think that's way more disrespectful, because she's right there in the same facility as you're trying to act like a single man. Like, that's just dirty and wrong. But these men they don't understand. They will never understand. If the shoe was on the other foot, they will cry. They will probably act crazy, want to kill themselves, because that's what they do.
Wait, has a guy ever told you he was going to kill himself?
Yes.
That's not funny. Actually, it's not very funny. Okay, so let me split up. That's not funny. It's just that there is a small percentage of men that, when getting broken up with, will say that they're going to commit suicide, or they're feeling
very
suicidal,
heartbroken.
And they act very heartbroken, and that's really not their intent at all. They just actually want a response. I think it's actually, what is that, narcissism?
Yes.
Yeah, they're narcissistic. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And so that has happened to you before.
Yes.
But this is not the story time part. This is not the story. We will keep going on the TikTok.
Yeah,
but I would like to hear that story, because I don't think
another time we can talk about that.
But I might remember actually who did that. I think I remember who did that actually.
We're gonna sip our tea.
But on the other hand, it was just kind of like, to me, it was like the what do you call it? The proof was in the pudding. Because like she said, like, you took my name, you took my number down. Like, sis, go and look at his phone. Go and look at his phone. Because for real, he's trying to make her look like she's crazy. But why would any woman in her mind just come up to somebody like on that type time if that didn't happen? I think that whole narrative, like, oh, she's crazy, you don't, that's actually funny because men use that shit a lot.
They always use that crazy word. We're
as
always
soon as
crazy.
Another girl pops up, she's crazy. I don't know what she's talking about. She been wanting me.
Right.
She's weird as hell. No, you're weird as fuck.
Weird as fuck. Fuck you.
You need a therapist. You need therapy. Because for real, like, I don't know what the whole deflecting is about. Like, stand 10 toes down. That's why I always say, if you're not ready to be in a relationship, you're not ready to be married, like, don't make those very big decisions and then you still walking around here acting like you're single.
Right.
Because it just...
But that happens a lot. That's every day for me.
You feel like you run into a lot of men that
I've run into a lot of men who just have women and they want you too. Like, sometimes... You know, I fall victim. I'll be a dummy. But we're not going to get into that, y'all.
Hold on, let's unfold that.
Let's
bring that back.
You know,
this ain't story time, but we're going to have a story for this.
Listen.
But no, I think that is a lot. You have a lot of women who, and this is just being real. There's women who will still fuck with a dude knowing that he has a situation just because of how it was explained to them. Mm-hmm. And then there's women who will do what she did with the... Née Simone did. And then there's also women who just won't say anything. I think the real superheroes are the Née Simone. I truly am all for to put that nigga out.
Right. And she did what she needed to do, and she put him out. She said, peace.
Let them know.
And now they're friends and they're hanging out. And
I'm all for the girl power. Like, I think that women have to stick together a lot more. And I don't want it to seem like, because a lot of people are like, oh, there's always this war with black women and black men. No, it's not really a war. It's really just like, be honest. Like, I'm going to always have my sister's back.
Exactly.
Especially if my sister ain't know. Now that's a different conversation for another day. No, it's not. Let's talk about it. Okay. If I was in this predicament, and say it was not even in this predicament. Let's just say I was messing, or I had a boyfriend and a girl was messing with him and she knew that I existed. By all means, I hope you can fight.
She's definitely a fighter, y'all. All seriousness. She's a fighter. Don't play with me, Sharene.
But by all means, I hope you can fight, because now I feel disrespected. But if you absolutely had no clue that I existed and I had no clue that you existed, like, I'm not going to be mad at you. Like, I think that we as women have to make sure that we consistently have those conversations where it's like, oh, no, I really appreciate you for passing this information on. Mm-hmm. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know that he was out here acting like that. And men really, I know a lot of men that be living double lives. I know a lot of men that be out here into other shit, doing other shit, doing the absolute utmost. So it's just like, and like I said, I don't want it to seem like we're coming for the men, because there's women that do that shit too. But I don't date women. Okay, so I ain't gonna tell you about what the women do, because I don't date them. And the niggas I date, and I'm not.
And the niggas I date. Hold on, y'all. She's getting real deep into this. Go ahead.
On some Cat Williams shit, where he said you need to evaluate the niggas you date. I make sure that I dated people from all types of different backgrounds.
Yeah, me
and
too.
Every once in a while, everybody who even checks all the marks on the papers is not always checking the marks on the papers. So you really do have to be mindful of like who you're messing with and what's going on, because that was disrespectful. And if he cared about that girl...
Right. I was just about to say that. Like, you must not have cared at all to even do what you did. Like, she wasn't even at home.
You had no respect.
You had no respect at all.
Didn't care.
Not even respect for her. You didn't have respect for yourself.
And you had all the audacity.
But we're not bashing men. We're just speaking like...
This is for that man.
This is for that man.
I hope that he is sitting home sick watching that TikTok.
Right, because that woman was beautiful. You lost a good, beautiful woman.
They were both gorgeous.
Yes.
And he risked it all, and it did not work out in his favor. Then when he
was trying to have his cake and eat it too, y'all.
Yes, and then the disrespect, like the deflecting, like, oh, I don't know who she is. She crazy. She this, she that. Nah, bro, you got caught.
Right, caught.
Apologize to your girl.
Busted. It's 2 damn o'clock in the morning. Where you been?
Baby, if you check my 2, I was with my girlfriends. You a lie.
I call. No, he was busted, and he couldn't take it. That's why he gets defensive and start calling names. That's how all men are.
Mm-hmm. Let's not say all men.
Okay, not all men. Some men who know that they ain't shit. Period.
There is some men who will actually be like, you know what? I shouldn't have did that. Or they'll actually just say like, won't even do that. There's men that won't even do that. Because I believe the rules go, you can look, but don't you touch, don't you approach, don't you do nothing. Like, I think even in marriages, like they say like, a married woman probably, and you know, y'all could comment on this if y'all don't agree with me, but I think a married woman is not going to be mad if her husband's looking. It's the moment that you approach or do anything that's given, I want you. What are you going to say?
I agree to that statement.
I mean, I would.
But there are some married men. Yeah, I know this couple, her husband they're together. It's like, he's a rapper.
Hello?
Okay, let's not get into this. But anyway, there are some, I agree with Misha Renee 100%. But there are some men that they really, and women who don't really care, like, they want that relationship where, you know, they want that other woman involved. But that's another subject and another.
What do you mean? Like a treyway?
Yeah, it's like a three-way.
How do we get there? How do we get there? I think we need to stop.
All right, we're done.
I think we need to stop drinking this wine. But no,
we're not gonna talk about threesomes.
To wrap up everything, I think that the ladies handled this excellently. This is womanhood at its finest, because at the end of the day, there was no reason to stand beside that man.
Right.
Because they weren't married. Now, if they're married, I can understand you standing beside your husband. That makes sense. But they were not married, and he disrespected her. And anytime you disrespect somebody, you need to go. Right. You tried to embarrass that girl. You tried to embarrass the both of them. And then when you got caught up, you decided to try to embarrass them more. No, you embarrassed yourself.
Exactly.
God bless. On to the next.
Deuces.
Cheers.